Welcome back to more of the Fruit of Grisaia. We're in the middle of Michiru's Route, and last episode we accidentally let slip that Michiru has another side to her, and Michiru is suddenly questioning how much she's actually in control concerns other Michiru seems to be so much of a better person at everything than Michiru is, and so she's really fighting for that right now, and she's trying to fight for control, it seems like, and she's really depressed, and we left her alone for a while, so. I expected the rain to linger, but it vanishes with a surprising swiftness. Before I know it, the sound of raindrops against the window disappears, and the cicadas emerge from their hiding places to join in a vigorous chorus of chirps. Sunlight streaming in from the window was so bright it almost feels like a dismal little scene, and Michiru's room was all an illusion. As the air grows thick with humidity, I rest my hands on the damp desk and settle my breathing. And remember, if you liked the video, guys, to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more of the Fruit of Grisaia. The world, previously dark as night, had at least regained its luster. I can only hope the change in weather rallies Michiru's spirits a little. I mean, rain always makes people kind of down in the dumps, right? Alright then. With those words, I pushed myself up off the desk. At times, it can be the easiest to postpone the planning phase until after you started moving. My head feels strangely heavy on my shoulders. My thoughts are sluggish and vague. Unless I verbally spur myself on, I don't think I'll manage to take even the first step forward. Alright then. What next? I speak again, trying to get into gear, but my wheels just can't find any traction. Well, sometimes it doesn't come easy. I continue speaking my thoughts aloud, but my strangely flat words evaporate into the muggy air. Seems like this technique just is not going to work today. Fortunately, the deadlock's broken from the other side. I stand and quietly open the door. Michiru stands outside my room with a face full of regret and anxiety. Eyes darting back and forth, she plays with the hem of her skirt. The girl clearly hasn't calmed down yet. Judging from those terribly bloodshot eyes, she was probably crying in her room until not so long ago. She was just full of apologies lately. At this point, it's no longer clear what she's even sorry for. They're meaningless words. Filler for when she doesn't know what else to say. You don't need to apologize. You want to come in? I see. Well, I'm not irresponsible enough to tell you it's not a problem, let alone don't worry about it, but right now you're too upset to think. Maybe you should pet that cat for a while until you feel a little better. Cat always cheers you up. No, he's not in here. I saw him heading out of the school a little while ago. Good idea. Michiru sets off down the hallway, presumably intending to head for the usual high ridge. But after only a few steps, she loses her balance and has to steady herself against the wall. Maybe she should get a little rest first? Michiru holds out her hand to show me a small plastic bag full of biscuits in the shape of various animals. The girl forces a strained, quavery smile onto her face. In combination with her swollen red eyes, the effect is downright pitiful. I see, by which you presumably mean I just bought too many. You can have one, but that's it. Either way, I'll come too. I just can't leave you alone in this condition. It's not safe. I think the term search and rescue operation is more appropriate. I decided to come along entirely on my own. Nobody else played any role. Is that not enough?
それでいいよ。じゃあ行こう。
Michiru reaches down and grasps my hand. Since there's no particular reason to shake her off, I squeeze back with a moderate amount of force. But what do you plan to do if someone sees us like this? Won't your tsundere reputation be ruined?
いいのよ。ユージが勝手に付きまとってきてるってことにするんだから。
Of course. Now you're gonna make me into a stalker. You really are nothing but trouble, princess.
やめるー。
Looking around the area restlessly, Michiru calls out the cat's name again and again. Probably wasted effort. I think I'd be able to sense his presence if he was hiding around here. I saw him running towards the road, so he probably left the premises for a while. Maybe he's still outside the campus.
私が冷たくしたから驚いちゃったんだろうな。ねえユージ、ニャンメルが許してくれなかったらどうしよう。
Won't forgive you. Give him a little food and he'll forget it ever happened. It's just a cat, you know?
何よその言い方。意地悪。やっぱりいないな。
You have a place in mind, right? No need to be so uneasy. After a slow walk along the seaside road, we finally approach the usual spot. Michiru's not in great shape. She had to squat down to catch her breath several times, but she's refused to take a longer break.
だって早くニャンメルに会いたいもん。
Large puddles of water sit on the surface of the road, beautifully reflecting the blue sky above. Apparently trying not to disturb their brilliance, Michiru carefully steps around them as she walks. Even as I'm watching the girl hop around like an unusually dejected rabbit, my mind is somewhere else entirely. A certain unpleasant premonition has begun to take root inside of me. Times like these, my animal instinct is vexingly accurate.
あれ、いないな。いつもはここにいるんだけど。ニャンメル！ニャンメル！
Michiru frantically searches places where a cat might be hiding, but there's no familiar meow to greet her. Still damp grass leaves her clothes slightly wet. Michiru, don't get too flustered even if he isn't here. Probably just hanging around somewhere else for the moment. There's no cause for alarm. The cat was quite taken to you, after all.
だってニャンメル、いつも私の部屋がここにいるのに、今日に限っていないなんて。
Only in your room and here? That's more unusual than him going missing. We're done with the stray cat. He surely has other haunts.
野良猫じゃないよ。ニャンメルだよ。
No, you're right, you're right.
ねえ、だったらどこか他の場所にいるのかな。ユージが先に寮に帰ってて、私は探すから。
Look for him where?
全部、いそうなところ全部。
Again with the crazy talk.
ニャンメル。
A light brown cat spotted with white emerges from a nearby clump of bushes. Michiru heaves a heavy sigh, then crouches down and talks to her.
ねえ、探してるのは君じゃないのよ。ニャンメル知らない？黒猫の。
Stray cat seems to be primarily interested in the biscuits Michiru is holding. Probably emerged after hearing the plastic bag rustling.
これは君にはあげられないのよ。でも一個だけなら。はい、お食べ。どこかでニャンメルを見かけたら教えてね。
He might have just wandered back into the dorm on his own by now. Let's get going.
わかった。
Michiru trudges along, clearly discouraged. The sun's just now straight overhead, ruthlessly bathing us in midsummer heat.
ニャンメル、どこ行っちゃったのかな。
What's the point of speculating? It's completely natural for cats to wander off. I'll come back once he gets hungry.
私のせいで家出しちゃったってことだよね。だったら困るよ。それはすごい困る。ねえ、もしかしてここ大きな車も結構通るし、もしかして。
Don't get caught up in what ifs. In the first place, All of a sudden, Michiru drops her plastic bag of biscuits onto the road. I pick it up and hold it out to her, but the girl shows no signs of reaching out to take it. Oh, what's wrong? Tired from the walk? I don't mind carrying you on my back if you want. Michiru slowly raises a finger to point far down the path. On the side of the asphalt roadway, there's a small black lump like a spot of spilled ink. I can't say from this distance. I'll take a look, so you just stay here. Understand? Don't move an inch, alright? The black lump's lying about 100 meters ahead. It must have tumbled along the road for a decent distance after the impact. There is a visible bloody trail leading to the small body. Oh, this is awful. It's still breathing, but it's only a matter of time. The black object before my eyes is without a doubt an unfortunate feline that was hit by a car. But I can't determine whether it's Michiru's pet or simply just a stray that bears a strong resemblance to him. No, if I take time to observe it calmly, I should be able to tell, but now I put that off. I told you to wait, damn it! Why didn't you listen? Ignoring my words completely, the girl approaches on trembling legs. Michiru's expression instantly crumples with despair. Her eyes are already full of tears. I briefly hesitate, uncertain how to explain the reality before us. The cat responds to Michiru's call with a feeble croak. It's unmistakably that familiar meow. Calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. Panicking isn't going to help anything. I'll take a look. I examine the cat where it lies, limply on the road. There's bleeding from the mouth and ears, but the external wounds don't appear that severe. When I feel gently around the stomach area, I can feel the broken bones and ruptured viscera on the other side. The animal suffered serious internal damage from the impact. It's almost like squeezing a rubber bag packed full of ice cubes. I have the unpleasant feeling that his organs aren't where they used to be. Small bright red pools of blood have formed the edge of the cat's eyes. When I pet his head, the animal blinks, sending them flowing down his face like tears. He'd been avoiding me all this time, but this wasn't exactly how I'd picture our reconciliation. He won't make it if we leave him like this. We need to get him to a vet, and soon. Tell me if you see a car approaching, alright? I'll stop them. Hey, watch it! You're gonna get yourself killed! As Michiru dashes out in the middle of the road, the driver screeches to a halt and rolls down his window to shout angrily. I come running after and put both hands on the hood of his taxi. I'm sorry about my friend, but please hear us out. This is an emergency. Can you get us to a veterinarian quickly? We don't have time to argue, alright? In response to my forceful bluster, the apparently soft-hearted driver nods quietly. When I turn back, Michiru's already carrying the limp black cat in her arms. Its limbs lie bent in strange directions. From a distance, it almost looks as though she's cradling a small bundle of withered branches. Get him, Michiru, and keep calm. I don't know. Let's focus on getting him to a veterinarian. That's the most we can do for Meowmel right now. Sad. Aww. Poor cat. Inside Michiru's arms, Meowmel draws ragged, shallow breaths, trembling slightly. This isn't your fault. It was an accident. Apologizing isn't going to change anything. Large teardrops tumble down Michiru's cheeks and fall onto Meowmel's face. The cat, lying there like a tattered old carpet, is slowly covered in a mixture of tears and blood.
そうだ。ユージ、きっとビスケット食べれば元気になるよ。だってニャンメル、ビスケット大好きだもんね。
Michiru seizes the bag of treats from my hands and breaks one up and places a tiny piece on the tip of her index finger.
ほら、好きなんだでしょ。食べて。ね。お願いだから食べて。
Meowmel tentatively sticks out his tongue and licks Michiru's finger several times. The fragment of biscuit on her finger quickly grows sticky and red with his blood.
ねえ、見て、ユージ。ニャンメル食べたよ。元気になるよね。このまま元気になるよね。
Distorting the truth would be easy enough, but what's the point? My lies can't dull her pain, much less save that cat. I offer them both a sincere answer. Hug him, Michiru. It's the only thing you can do right now.
ユージ、なんでそんなこと言うの？なんで助からないみたいに言うの？だってほら、こんなに元気だよ。ニャンメル、こんなに元気になってる。目がキラキラしてるもん。
Meowmel begins to cough weakly, trying to spit out the saliva and blood pooling in his tiny mouth. But the light's gradually fading from his eyes. As Michiru strokes the cat, hair falls out in bloody clumps and sticks to the seat of the car. The driver glances tentatively back at us through the rearview mirror. Don't worry, I'll pay the cleaning bill. I reach out and gently rest a hand on Meowmel's body. His convulsions don't seem to be getting any better. There's no longer any room for wishful thinking. You'll be along now.
お願い行かないで。どこにも行かないで。
With one final soft purr, Meowmel extends its foreleg straight out as if to pester his mother for milk. And just like that, he quietly breathes his last. Michiru must have felt the very instant that tiny life disappeared inside her arms. Trembling violently, she looks over at me with pleading eyes. I shake my head slowly, but she nonetheless presses her lips against the cat's blood-stained mouth and tries artificial respiration. It doesn't go well. In the end, she hangs her head and breaks into hysterical sobs. Some people would probably say it's only a cat, or maybe how much can a relationship that only lasted a few weeks really mean, right? But there's no denying the fact that this cat was an irreplaceable friend to Michiru. A beloved companion was just taken from her in the most meaningless, arbitrary way possible, right before her eyes. There's not even anyone to blame. There's no story to explain it, to enable acceptance. Death abruptly wandered by and snatched him away with no reason at all. I'm sorry, but can you please change the destination to Mahama Academy? We don't have any reason to visit the veterinarian anymore. When I inform the driver of the situation, Michiru objects in a choked voice. That's not possible anymore. You know it isn't. Just accept reality. I understand that you don't want to accept it, but there's nothing we can do. What use is there in talking about that? You're you, and she has nothing to do with this. We're getting out. Let me have that cat. I'll take care of him.
処理なんて言わないで。だってこの子ニャンメルだよ。二人で名前つけたんだよ。
I know. Look, just get out of the car, right? This isn't the time to throw a tantrum.
どうしてなんで冷静でいられるの？ユージはニャンメルのことが大事じゃないの？ねえ、なんで？こうなったのも私が名前をつけたからだ。やっぱり名前なんてつけなきゃよかったんだよ。私と関係しなければよかったんだ。もうやだよ。こんなのやだよ。もうこれ以上悲しいことはやだよ。誰かと仲良くなったり笑ったりしても結局最後にはお別れしかないんだ。もういい。こんなのひどいよ。
I grab Michiru by the wrist and forcibly yank her along. Shut up. Then embrace her forcefully. I hug Michiru's slender body against mine so strongly that it feels like I might break her. This is painful for me, too. At those words, Michiru buries her face against my chest and begins sobbing convulsively. Meowmel dying is a sad, terrible thing. For both of us. But you need to stop drawing connections that aren't there. The cat's death had nothing to do with anything else, and you're sure as hell weren't at fault. This was an accident. Look, I've been through something very similar. I know how it feels, alright? There's no point in just breaking down. Do what you have to first. If you're gonna cry, then do it afterwards. And think, don't run away. I attempted to pay the cabbie, but he drives off without accepting a dime. I probably wanted to bid the quickest possible farewell to his eerie clients and their blood-stained cat corpse.
頭もいいし、だからそんなことが言えるけど、私はバカだから考えたってわかんないよ。
Michiru hugs the cat's body tightly, showing no intention of letting go anytime soon. She seems to have accepted the reality of its death, but clearly has no idea how to cope with it. That's not a stuffed animal in your arms. You can't hold on to it forever.
わかってる。
Let me take the cat. I won't treat him badly. After a long internal debate, Michiru finally hands me the cat. Thanks to the summer heat, fluid has already begun to ooze out of its anus. The girl's clothes are soiled. Even so, she pets his head numerous times, clearly reluctant to part.
やめる。
I decided it's probably best to let her be alone for a while. After respectfully dealing with the cat's body, I returned to my room and take a shower. The cat died. From an objective point of view, the stray cat was hit by a car, nothing more, nothing less. In the animal shelters, abandoned pets and feral strays are disposed of in the tens of thousands every year. To the world at large, the death of that cat is essentially meaningless. But a precious fragment of Michiru's world was stolen away before our very eyes. From that perspective, we're clearly facing a gravely serious situation.